Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the Weekend of Science 22. So in this part, we'll be making a scroll progress tracker. So as you can see, so example is in this website. Let's say you're scrolling it down. So the bar starts from here and it should go till here by the time you reach the end of the page. So basically, it should show the progress as to how much you have scrolled and how much is remaining for you to scroll to the entire down of that bottom of that page. So again, like the previous part, we have three parts: is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So in this, basically, the program bar element is missing in the HTML. That is, I have filled the program bar element, and then the initial width of the progress bar is not set in the CSS. So we'll set the initial width as well. Then the scroll tracking logic is in the JavaScript is incomplete. So we'll finish all these things now. Come to the HTML. We have a scroll progress bar. So we have a separate division for it with the ID called progress bar. Now again, one more is background overlay, where the class name is web overlay. The hero section with all the contents is mentioned here with the images as well. So this is again of no use to us. It is basic learn up some information, but it is given in the form of Spider-Man. We have a footer followed by the link to JavaScript. Now, I don't think this would be useful. Fine, yeah. Let's go to script.js now. In this, we have to add the event listener. That is basically, in the previous part it was click, and in this part it is basically scroll. Whenever you scroll, the event is called. The event is listened and it is called. Now, we have to calculate scroll top. It is a constant called scroll top. Now, how do we calculate it? Is basically window.scrollY. It is how many. It is basically checking how many y units have you scrolled of the screen from the screen. Now, this is in the newer versions, and in the older versions, it is this. If try for this, if it is not there, then go for this one. This is again for the older versions of Windows, etc. How to calculate the total length that is scrolled. Now, total scrollable height we have to calculate. That is basically total scrollable height. Now, we have a doc height constant for that, and how do we calculate that? Is basically scroll height. So what is the total scroll height of the screen? That is basically from here till we scroll down, and minus what is the client height. So what is client height? Is basically, even without scrolling, you can see that. That is a client height. So we have to subtract this scroll height by the client height. So we'll get the total scrolling height. How many it is scrollable height. Now, how do we calculate the scroll percentage? It is basically a let scroll percentage. And how do we calculate it? Is scroll top divided by doc height. So we have to calculate the percentage into 100. So we'll get the percentage. Let's say it is 30%. So then we have to set the bar percentage also to 30. Out of this 100, we have to set it for 30 like that. It goes on like that. Now, see document.get element by ID, whatever progress bar is there, that ID, we have to set that width in that style, in that then this, we have to set the width to scroll percent plus percentage. So this is what was mentioned here, that is initial width of the progress bar. Scroll percent into, that is in the percentage. So if it is 30, then it is 30%. Now, if I click on run, I'll show you this, how this works. Okay, so you can see it is initially in 0. As I scroll down, you can see the orange line coming. It is slowly building. When I scroll to the down, it is 100% now. Now it is around 90%, around 80, 70 like that. This is how it is working. Now, let me click on submit. I hope you guys understood this program and understood the implementation as well. So the test cases have passed, and that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys.